Hi, my name is Dylan Sanders, and I'm Vice President, Wealth Management Advisor for Fidelity Investments' Private Wealth Management Division in Naples, Florida. A common question we frequently get comes from folks who have recently lost a spouse or whose spouse can no longer make financial decisions. What do I need to do now in order to get my finances in order? Losing a loved one is painful enough, but when the family's key financial decision maker passes, the surviving spouse, partner, and other family members must cope not only with the personal loss, they also confront an array of unfamiliar financial choices they may not have expected. It's not uncommon to feel overwhelmed by all the decisions and tasks ahead. So let's start with a few scenarios you should try to avoid. First, don't try to go it alone. It makes sense to meet your attorney and financial professionals to discuss legal and tax issues associated with settling the estate. You should have a current inventory of assets, a contact list of key advisors, like your attorney and tax professional and insurance broker, and a list of legal and other important documents, including where to find them. If these documents are stored electronically in an online safe, you'll need a computer password to access them, as well as any online banking passwords to access those accounts. Don't delay. Begin the process as early as possible. Discuss what's happening with family members who will be impacted, and try to encourage an open dialogue. Now may be the best time to enlist their help. Next, let's run a quick checklist of specific legal and financial documents you'll want to have on hand. First, the death certificate. Make sure you have at least 10 certified copies of the death certificate. Financial institutions and other agencies like Social Security Administration, the IRS, and DMV will need to see this as proof of death. You may also want to have access to marriage and birth certificates. Next, the will or trust document. This will detail how the deceased wishes to have the estate distributed. Without a will, the state decides how your property will be distributed. Next, you'll need copies of insurance policies such as life, health, auto, homeowners, and disability policies. You also need statements detailing retirement assets and income, such as 401k, IRAs, pensions, and Social Security. In addition, a list of bank and checking accounts will be needed. The way these accounts are set up, especially the beneficiary designations, are important as they play a critical role in estate planning. Beneficiary designations will override the will if the document isn't consistent. In other words, even if the will states the assets are to go to someone who was not named as a beneficiary, the beneficiary designation can supersede the will. Also, I know it's hard to think about it now, but if you ever remarry, you will want to consider updating your own will so that it reinforces the beneficiary designations and plans for your assets, including property and family heirlooms. Now let's talk about which institutions should be notified right away. First, contact the Social Security Administration. In addition to survivor's benefits, a surviving spouse should receive a one-time death benefit to help with burial expenses. Next, contact your spouse's employer and previous employers. They will determine whether you or other heirs are entitled to any pension plan or other benefits. If you are still working, you'll want to notify your employer of this life event as well. Now that your marital status has changed, they will need to update this for their records. Don't forget, you'll also need to update beneficiary designations on your own retirement accounts, like 401k. Of course, insurance companies and credit card issuers should be contacted as well. Planning ahead before one's death is key to making the process of settling an estate go smoothly. That's why having family conversations about estate planning early can be helpful in creating a plan that can reduce stress for everyone. Try to open a dialogue with all family members, including adult children, so that everyone is involved and understands each other's wishes, both personal and financial. If an executor or trustee has already been named on the estate, That person may also want to be involved in the conversation. You don't need to get into details about assets or dollar amounts, but do have an open discussion. Maybe your children can work together, or you might find that one or more lacks the interest or ability to handle financial decisions on behalf of the spouse, and you'll need to appoint someone else as a trusted advisor. Another time-saving move is to consider consolidating assets into as few accounts as possible. Make sure the accounts fit your financial estate needs and in the most tax-efficient manner possible. Your family's tax advisor can provide guidance given your particular situation. So I hope these tips can act as a helpful guide to make your planning go a little smoother during an understandably difficult time. Thank you.